Good morning. Thanks very much for those of you coming along to the live stream. It's nice to see so many of you. Hopefully you made a nice green screen or plenty of profit yesterday. Looking at the English Premier League, any real trades there? Well, I did get involved in laying Everton after they led, but I was scared off by the red card, which was a pity because Brighton did equalise late on. I was a bit fearful of Everton reverting to their 2-goal pattern of early on in the campaign when they started getting 0-0s at half time and then they got 0-2 or 0-3 wins in the second half. So I was a bit worried about that. What a pity. Could have come out of this with a very nice profit. New manager for Palace, so I didn't play that despite the red card, but they did take advantage of the red, as you saw. Man United and Fulham was very interesting, particularly late on. I didn't take on the Fulham lead late on, and I should have done with the Man United equaliser care of Harry Maguire. They are certainly missing Rasmus Højlund, that's for sure. And as far as the late goals concerned, well, we did lay the late draw, but in this case laid the draw back to Man United. By doing so, we left a break even or a small profit on Fulham, and as that happened, Fulham got the win. So we did come out of it with a little bit of a gain, but a nice technique to perhaps add to our arsenal. If you're laying the late draw and you fancy one side over the other, you can back that side and also lay the draw. That ensures that at least you get a break even if the underdog scores the winner. That's Alex Iwobi getting that one. Bournemouth and Man City, well, very lacklustre performance from Man City, but 3 points is all that matters. Well, fair enough for Arsenal. The market got them absolutely spot on. I thought Newcastle would be more competitive with their 4-match unbeaten run, and this was, alas, a little bit too late for me on tie time. German Bundesliga, we did lay by Borussia Mönchengladbach at about 1.06 because Bochum have that second half scoring habit and they have that score draw habit, but they did get the 2 goals, but they conceded 3. What a pity. Stuttgart and Köln, you could have laid the late draw here. Laid the draw at half time. Stuttgart scoring, you would have made a profit there, but Köln, this was a pattern yesterday. A lot of relegation threatened sides putting in a good performance. Look at Darmstadt, for example, against Werder Bremen, getting the equaliser. Could have got a late winner. They had 2 goals disallowed for handball and offside. Desperate need for points at this stage of the season. Bayern Munich I wouldn't play. Derby style match, new manager. Elsewhere, Serie A, didn't really have any interest in any of these matches, but Paul Dunwoody, my apologies for not picking up your message, Paul, in the YouTube live stream. He did mention the late lay of the draw. So well done to that, Paul, and my apologies again for not picking up that message at the time. I will get used to it. I would prefer to have the chat box at YouTube pinned so I can have it on the screen, but I couldn't find that facility. But thank you for passing that on, Paul. I hope other members pick that up. At last, against 10th and lower, there hasn't been a draw, but that's not to Genoa's liking, to Udinese's liking. 100% draw record against 10th and lower has ended. That's how you end it, by scoring 2 goals. Was the red card impactful? Did it come early? No, it didn't. Genoa already leading. So good result for Genoa. Udinese at last ending their draw sequence, but they would have preferred to win, I'm sure. This is what you expect of a 1.22 shot. Did Pexvola score first? No, they didn't. A job done, really. 20-minute rule. We wouldn't have profited, really. I like to look for a 0-1, 0-2, any other away score. Could have got that there, but that spoilt the fun. If you go neutral, of course, after 20 minutes, you can go half-time market 2.5, half-time market 1.5. That covers both teams. But this is what you expect any other away score at 1.22 odds. Good result for NEC Nijmegen yesterday. Didn't play that one. Looking at La Liga, emphatic stuff from Barcelona. Alaves, well, a good result for Mallorca this, because Alaves have only been losing to some big names at home. A very well earned draw. Almeria scored 2 goals, as they did against Barcelona, as they did against Real Madrid, and they did it again against Atletico Madrid. But they had to work for it. At no stage really was there a trading angle, unless you laid the draw second half, because we could have done with Almeria scoring first. That's the 3rd consecutive draw, I believe, for Almeria. Just not crossing the line, are they? Real pity. Fenerbahce was the last trade of the day. Simple as you like, really. Kazan score first. 1.2 favourites, get the win. Easy as you like. On to today, and there'll be a live stream today. Members only. From probably about 2 p.m. Although it looks a bit sparse today. That's my only concern. I don't want to do a session where there's just sporadic matches, so I think we're missing a few Italian matches. Normally we've got a whole raft of 2 o'clocks in Italy. We've got a 1:30 in the Premier League, 2:30 in the Bundesliga, so it's just a smattering of matches, but I'll see what I can do from 2 o'clock. Wolves and Sheffield United, well, emphatic from the market. Wolves expected to perform today, but don't forget yesterday. You saw it in the English Championship yesterday. Let me get another version of Soccer 24 up. How many sides in the English Championship struggling for points got wins? And the English League 1, English League 2. I can name you Shrewsbury off the top of my head. Damn flies trying to drink my coffee. Bar steward. English Championship. Let's have a look. Strugglers. Plymouth got the win. Rotherham were leading. Millwall struggling, get the win. Swansea struggling, get the win. This is what you're going to expect from February, March and April. Shrewsbury got the win, and that was a trade which we should have got on. As well as the Aston Villa, laying Aston Villa 3-0 up. I did mention that in the live stream at about 1.01. We've got a goal before half time for Nottingham Forest, and then they made it 3-2. Those odds went up to 1.29. You would have got a very tasty profit there. Can you imagine laying at 1.01? For every £1 you risk, you can potentially win 95 quid. So that's the important of that. Don't forget today, watch out for league positions. As Paul rightly pointed out with that soft swallow, lay the draw. The need for points can often make sure that these draws end. So that's all I'm talking about there. That just brought that to my attention. Sheffield United, as you know, in a whole heap of trouble. Right, I'm going to have to take evasive action on this fly if he doesn't stop messing with my drink. Eintracht Frankfurt and the Wolves, 2.25 the favourite, a little bit lukewarm for that. Dortmund and Hoffenheim, well, the market's in favour of Dortmund. But the problem with the Hoff is, you never know which Hoff turns up. So I hope I did this one, yeah. Far too often the Hoff are conceding 3+ goals against the top 6. So in that regard, they're going to be on a spot of bother today. So let's go through some of the research. Chance for Wolves to end a losing run at home. Indeed, Sheffield United have conceded in the last 12 away. 2+ goals scored in the last 2 away matches. Just catch the eye. Chris Wilder's boys. Both teams to score is an uncomfortable Wolves pattern under Gary O'Neill. And you've just seen that 2-goal habit for the Blades might come to bite Wolves. Chelsea and Liverpool. The only thing I can mention here in the League Cup is the huge injury list for Liverpool. They're going to have to bring back Kenny Dalglish, I think, today, and Ian Rush. It's mounting, and it's pretty much the first 11. Alexander-Arnold, Alisson, Diego Jota, Jones, Matip, Thiago, questionable, Mo Salah, Szoboszlai and Darwin Núñez. Wow. So expect the team sheet today to include Ian Rush and Kenny Dalglish up front. Terry McDermott playing somewhere in the back, and possibility that Kevin Keegan might get a game as well today. Going to be a fascinating final. With all those absentees for Chelsea, for Liverpool, how are they going to cope? I've not researched, of course. It's a one-off match. You know what happens with one-off matches. We just can't tell. It's the best on the day. There is no form line to work with, and tactics will play a part as it's a one-off. Don't forget the draw is also in play in these cup finals. Augsburg and Freiburg, 2.2 the favourite. Looks a tough Bundesliga today. The old lady playing Frosinone today should get a result. Let's work our way through. Motherwell and Celtic, I'll take that off. It's a rather obvious play. And no point researching that one. Cadiz and Celta Vigo. Well, let's go through Spain then. 2.5 the favourite. Real Betis, Atletico Bilbao. These two are very well matched on seasonal form. That's the problem. So I'm not going to play. No win against the top 8 away. No win home or away against the top 6. This is 7th against 5th. So both sides are struggling against fellow top 8 players. Las Palmas against Osasuna. Again, 2.3 the favourite. I won't research. And I hope you understand why. Because time and time again, I'll do the research and my conclusions will say exactly what the market says. Can't split the sides. Las Palmas have scored in the last 7 at home. 2 consecutive wins for Osasuna. It's too tight to call. I'm afraid I'm not going to look at it. The return of Sergio Ramos to Real Madrid could spark some semblance of an improved performance from Sevilla. After all, they have beaten Atletico Madrid recently at home, 1-0. Real Madrid, no defeat in 19. It's going to have to take something to beat them today, but you could just imagine Sergio Ramos getting a goal from a corner. 12 out of 18 goals conceded away have come first half for Sevilla. They tend to shoot themselves in the foot first half. Real Madrid, though, do tend to score second half. 20 out of 30 goals scored at home came second half. Fascinating game. The Sergio Ramos factor could see Real Madrid's odds as a little bit too short, but I said that yesterday about Arsenal, and the market proved Arsenal absolutely spot on. Bundesliga, Frankfurt against Köln, Frankfurt against Wolfsburg. Good recent form for Frank, scored in the last 7 home matches. Only 1 home loss against third. They'll be expecting today. No win away against the top 15 for the Wolf, but they do have that score-draw factor. 5 score draws and a 1-0 loss recently for them. So they do have some battling qualities. Dortmund and the Hoff, as you know, we've already looked at. Augsburg and Freiburg. It's a match that we can make as equally a good argument for either side. Both teams come into this in poor recent form. But Augsburg have only 1 defeat at home against 4th and lower. Freiburg are unbeaten home and away against 11th and lower. No chink in either seasonal form. So again, that's flirting with what the market says. It's too tough for us to call. French Ligue 1, I won't be researching now. My apologies, I didn't get round to it. But Nice odds on favourites at home to Clermont. Toulouse and Lille. Well, Toulouse have just been awful. They're an awful trading side. Unreliable. When you want them to score a goal, they don't score. When you don't want them to score, they score 2. Paris Saint-Germain against Rennes as well. Rather obvious. I tend to approach French Ligue 1 in play. Let's have a look at Marseille and Montpellier. Well, I have done Marseille and Montpellier. The basic rule with Marseille is their home support won't let them off the hook. Only 2 defeats since the 25th of November. 3 consecutive home score draws is a sequence you'll be looking to end. The home support, the manic home support, will not tolerate. No away win against the top 10 for Montpellier should present a good opportunity for Marseille today. So we do have some 2 o'clocks in French Ligue 1. I make no apologies for not researching French Ligue 1. It's like the English Championship. It's outside of a couple of major sides. It's all very tight. Juve against Frosinone. Redemption match for Juventus, but they do have a trouble scoring that second goal. That's a concern. 7 0-0s at half-time at home, none at full-time. You saw that with Everton yesterday. 5 0-0s at half-time away, 1 at full-time. We got that second half goal, didn't we, yesterday? So that would be a pattern to look for the old lady today if they don't score before half-time. No win in 12 away matches for Frosinone, conceding in the last 11 away. Looks like, as I say, an opportunity for Juve, but they can't keep getting away with scoring just a single goal. That's the Achilles heel. Cagliari against Napoli. Well, Napoli are a very tough time, but they've got Osimhen back from the African Cup of Nations. They've failed to score in the last 5 away matches, which is quite something. They have an undisputed 100% win record away against 13th and lower. Lecce against Inter Milan. Inter Milan tend to score first, so we're unlikely to see a trade here against Lecce. 5 losses in 6 for Lecce, conceded in the last 20 matches. AC Milan and Atalanta, derby style match this one, but I would give a gentle nod towards AC Milan. They look to be in the better, consistent form. And in the Dutch Eredivisie, I didn't get round to this either. My apologies. But looking at this on paper, derby style match, AZ and Ajax. FC Twente have been in excellent form this season. Feyenoord, usual odds on favourites. So without actually researching, we've got some readable elements there. 1:30 might be the best starting point for a live stream today. Would you agree? 1:30 would fit in with a number of matches. That would bring us into the 2 o'clocks and onwards. So let me sort that out today. 1:30 at YouTube. So you go to YouTube, get to at Football Trading Profits, and you'll see yesterday's live stream. So if you want to revisit for educational purposes, have a look. It's a really good live stream. Really enjoyed it. We made some good profits, and there was a lot of lessons to learn from yesterday, particularly when you green up, it doesn't matter what happens afterwards. We had this all through the day yesterday. Teplice, we got the winner and we cashed out, but it ended 2-2. Southampton, we got the goal before half time to get the draw, but we didn't cash out. It ended 1-2 to Millwall. Union Berlin. I should have just gone with Berlin here because there's a lot of them. Union Berlin, we got the win at half time. Cashed out. Heidenheim made it 2-2. Stuttgart, yesterday, got the win. Köln made it 1-1. So the lesson from yesterday is, if you want to make sure that you're guaranteeing yourself a profit, green up. Green up at the winning opportunity, which will be the 2-1 at half time. Take the gift of a goal before half time. And then it doesn't matter what happens afterwards. Teplice drew, so what? I made a guaranteed return. Teplice win, so what? I made a guaranteed return. Their opponent win, who cares? I made a guaranteed return. Union Berlin made about 50 quid here, guaranteed return at half time. So it doesn't matter what happens. And I did mention this in the live stream. Heidenheim did have a goal disallowed, and that for me is what I call a shot across the bow. Get out, take the hint. And they have been in decent nick. Only Leverkusen have beaten them in the last 9 matches, Heidenheim. So take the gift of a 2-1. Most unexpected as well, Union Berlin to score 2 goals. Their normal wins have been 1-0. So please remember that today. Or watch the live stream to learn a little bit more about that. So at youtube.com / at Football Trading Profits, I think it's called. youtube.com / at Football Trading Profits. Okay. So I'll have all the details in the research and in the website, Footballtradingprofits.club. This is where I'll have the live stream, and I might as well start at 1:30 today because we've got 3 or 4 kickoffs at 1:30. That'll move us into the 2 o'clocks. And if we run out of ammunition, i.e. enough quality to trade, then I will have to call the live stream short. I don't like dead time. So I'll see you at 1:30. Again, thank you very much for all of you who attended yesterday. It was nice to see you all, and it was a really good live chat, live stream. I hope you learnt a lot, and I hope, more importantly, that you made some green screens. So please, at Football Trading Profits, do subscribe to make sure that you're alerted whenever the live stream is on, and you'll see these review preview videos here as well. Have a great Sunday. I'll see you at 1:30. It's not our usual 2 o'clock kickoff today. 1:30 UK time. See you there.